most important and succeeding professional online publisher. Robin, we are all ears for you.
Thank you. Thank you, Despina. Suspense. Eventually, this thing that says offline, it will go off. So you tell me when it does, okay? Thank you. My assistant, Mr. Gantz. I hope you're gonna all be fine with my English. Unfortunately, I did study Greek in class when I was. Is working? Fantastic. Thanks. When I was in school, but it was very classic Greek, and I really spent all of my time trying to have fun during the Greek class, so I haven't kept anything of those memories. The only verbs that we memorized were the ones that had some Italian assonance with the erotic terms, but this is not going to be any fun for you because you cannot make too much sense of them. So I'm going to leave those out, and I'm going to tell you briefly the things that I think you may be interested into. I do not have any PowerPoint, so it's fine to have some Microsoft behind me. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, how I became the first Italian, probably, and one among the first Europeans, that is being able to live completely off the web. That is, my dream was to stop, to have some customers, some clients, some people to consult to, because one way or another, I always ended not liking the situation. Either because they have you work too much and they pay you too little, or because they have you work too little and they pay you a lot but they don't pay you never, or because you have to go to the lawyer to get your money, or the bank doesn't get you the check for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. So this is life, I think, not just in Italy, although we have our peculiarities about business, but I think it's a matter of everywhere you live, you know. Business is business, and there are always smart people trying to get the greater part of your business and somebody taking advantage of you. And so I am a very raw, sincere, direct type of person, and I didn't like this thing because the wheel kept going. I mean, you have to find a consulting job, and then when it's over, assuming you've liked it and you've made some money, you gotta find another one, and another one, and another one for all of your life. And then you have to pay the rent, the leasing of your car, whatever else. I mean, this to me is not life. Life for me is the ability to do what I like to do all of the time, as much as I can. So I'm going to empower a little bit this great video producer here in the second row. Well, I'd like you to be my assistant. Since we're going to talk about media, let's use all the media possible. You can come and sit next to me there, or you can just walk around. I'm going to be streaming live what I'm saying. That is, I'm using my little mobile phone to actually send out live on my site, and anybody can watch around the world what I'm saying now. The service doesn't cost anything, so since you're all wondering what I'm using to do that, it's a normal Nokia phone, N95, and the service I'm using is called Qik, Q-I-K. You just go there, you sign up, you download a little software in your mobile, you click stream, and it just goes. And you can put it on your site, on your blog, wherever you want. So I'm taking the opportunity to do this because there are people around the world that are wondering what I'm doing in Athens today. So let me go back to my story. What I was doing was to be a communication consultant before. I worked for international organizations like those that help third world countries, war situations, and they bring rice, and they bring money, and they bring volunteer help, humanitarian type of organizations. And in Rome, Italy, where I was born, there are a lot of these organizations. It's like Geneva, it's like Washington, there is a concentration of them there. So since I knew very well English, I decided way before that the internet came about and the idea of working for niches to specialize myself for an English-speaking market. I mean, I was in Rome, I didn't want to have any competition. What could I do? I said, I know English well. Who can I talk to and do business? And the embassies and these international organizations came to mind. So I started to work with them, and I said, you know, what a great idea to work for organizations They're helping the world become a better world. Isn't that nice? I mean, I'm not just doing an advertising for a big company to promote their products, which I don't care anything about maybe, but I'm helping, in my head, you know, the poor guys here and there across the world live or get out of their trouble. That's what I thought. And so I spent quite some years, between 10 and 15 years, working for these organizations. What I did for them was basically help them put together the communication products, manuals, books, brochures, which are usually in 5 languages, English, Arabic, Chinese, French, and Spanish, or do CD-ROMs first, and then the internet came about. So that was a very fantastic university for me, because in that environment, no matter how much money I made, I was able to work with lots of different things, lots of challenges, lots of new things. The other thing I did for them was to immediately give back to them what I was learning through that job. That is, if they give me a project to do something, I would discover some tools, some methodologies to do this. And so I offered these same organizations that I would do some training for them. I said, you know, I'm doing this project for you and this other one. You like them very much. Why don't I come and train your people? So next time you don't call me, you can do this by yourself. So I did 10 years of training. I would have classes of about 8, 10, 12 people, and would do training on all the topics that dealt with communication and technology. So you start with PowerPoint. Everybody's using PowerPoint. I hate it personally, but you know, most people use it. So you gotta know not only where to click and what to do, but also how to communicate a little more effectively with the tools, how to do web publishing, how to do information design, that is, use text and graphs in a way that is more effective than what we get out of PowerPoint or Excel or Graph. These are the things I did for them. Then, all of a sudden, I said, but this world here is not very different from the business world. Even here, the big boss, maybe he was coming from Africa, but he was a big boss inside the organization, would say, oh, make this thing here just a little green, I don't like it blue, or this thing, put it a little bit like that. And you know, they were spending tens of thousands of dollars, and then they were going to change the color because the boss liked it more. That really gave me some bad feelings inside my blood. I said, you know, this is not the type of organization that I thought. These are not really always helping the people. Maybe there is some other way that I can get some satisfaction from what I'm doing. Because, you know, my problem, what it was, not the money, not the work, because it was always different, but the personal satisfaction. I mean, they can pay you all kinds of amounts of money, but if you are not able to do what you can do best and see the people use it or appreciate it, I feel like shit. I don't know about you, but that's what I feel. So what I did, since I felt very depressed by the fact that I had all this work, they paid me well, but I didn't like it, I said, let me do something that I really like. And so it was about 1998. I said, I have all these names of these people that have come to my courses. Why don't I tell these people when they come to the course and they give me the feedback, let me put an extra box that says, do you want to receive some information from me? I've got a newsletter. I'm going to send them something. And all the people in the courses said, yes, I want to have some information from you. I liked your course. Give me more. And so I started a newsletter. And what did I write in the newsletter? Everything I learned in my work. What tools I used, what approach I took, what was a better methodology, this or that. Don't worry if the camera stopped, just press stop. They saw enough of that. And so the newsletter gave me immediately the satisfaction that I want, because people started to build up in number. 20, 30, 100, 500, 1,000, 5,000. Wow, I said, that's great. I mean, 5,000 people reading my stuff, and I wasn't even using a website. I did have a website, but it was nothing. It was a brochure. Like everybody, when you start a website, you kind of do this dead thing. I am this company, I do this and that. But it's nothing like we see today, where, you know, there are conversations going on, many things. So I said, maybe the brochure on the site isn't not very up to date. Maybe I should change that. And so I started publishing the stuff of the newsletter on the website. So that's kind of the opposite of what people do today, but that's how I started. So I took the newsletter stuff and put it on the site every week, and I got this newsletter were bigger and bigger and bigger, 30, 40, 50 pages. I couldn't print them for myself and go back home and read it myself. It was so much writing. I said, you know, this is amazing. I'm doing all this. I'm very happy, but there must be something beyond. I didn't know where this was going to go. One day, two friends of mine, Antonella and Massimo, came to me and said, Robin, actually they said Gigi, because I wasn't Robin at the time, said, Gigi, why don't you put some advertising on side of your site? Are you stupid? I mean, what are you doing? You've got all these readers and you don't make any money out of this. I said, I hate advertising. I really cannot stand it. It really bugs me every time I read something, beep, beep, buy this, pop, 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 buy that. I don't want that stuff. It's distracting. It's not what I want. I want to help people. I want to share what I know. I want to give to other things that they like. Oh, you're just stupid. You don't understand. Look, there is a new advertising program from Google that's called AdSense. You should look into that. Google AdSense. Let's go see. And some of you already have seen this, but some of you have not. This advertising program is basically something completely different from traditional advertising because, first of all, the ads are generally just text, a small text information with a link. And secondly, what was really revolutionary at the time, and we're talking about 2001, 2002, is that these ads come up intelligently. That is, if you write an article about love for cooking, the ads that will come up are about eating spaghetti and getting a great pizza and where is the restaurant to go have a dinner tonight. So I said some bad word and I said, that's really good. I mean, that's not distracting. That's complementary information. I mean, if I write about Bruce Lee killing somebody, then there is judo shoes or, I don't know, punching gloves. That's cool, I said. So let me try this. Let me put these ads on the page. And, you know, a miracle happened. Because, again, I never started with the idea of becoming a web publisher, of making money online, or even living off of it. But once I put these ads on the pages, the money started to come. And I was in trouble right away, immediately, because AdSense was not available in Italy. So I said, how am I going to get paid? I mean, I'm making money, but I can take it. So I called my friend Kelsey in California and said, Kelsey, you've got a bank account? I need a favor. I've got this AdSense money that is coming in. I don't know where to put it. Can you take it for me? And then every once in a while you send me some? Sure, Gigi, no problem. I can do that. Ah, okay, fantastic. And so the money started to come up, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 per month. Whoa, I said, we're going. I mean, I can do whatever I want. I can go to the tropical islands and keep writing and the money keeps coming. Is it possible? And I realized it was seriously possible when Kelsey called me back. Gigi, my wife is asking me, where is all this money going? Who is this money? She's telling me, you know, where I'm sending all this money. I cannot do this anymore. It's too much money every month. You got to open your own account. And happily, Google decided, it was about 2003 or 4, that Italy was okay and that we could have our own accounts and receive the money. And so I was even happier. But that wasn't the end of the story, actually, because we're talking what? $4,000, $5,000 every month. And that was pretty much what I was making as a consultant. So I had one foot inside the international organizations and one foot inside my publishing stuff and Google AdSense. I said, as soon as I make $4,000 or $5,000, these feet are going to be both there. And in fact, they moved automatically. I didn't have to do any command. I just found myself here. The international organization gave me some bids. I say, oh, I cost $2 million. And so I say, oh, forget it. I mean, I just make myself lose out of all the competition so that I didn't have any regret or say, oh, I should be doing this or that. That was my old business. It's secure. It's secure. Oh, no, no, stay here. I wanted to stay in the risky business because it gave me so much more satisfaction and energy that nothing beat that. What happened next was really the most amazing thing. That is, Google itself came to me and said, "You are doing such a great job. We want you to be our premium partner." Whoa. Premium. I had read this word before, premium partner. I said, what did I do wrong? I mean, I read the premium partner, you gotta have 10 million visitors. I don't have 10 million visitors. Maybe there is a mistake. So I write them back. I said, I'm very happy, you know. What can I do for you? How can I help be a premium partner? I said, you gotta do nothing. We're just gonna help you make more money. You're gonna help me make more money. How? Oh, we're gonna give you just a few tools, and we're gonna dedicate an account manager here in Dublin, Ireland for you. You can call her anytime you want. Plus, we're gonna give you some secret stuff that you can put inside your pages that are gonna make your ads even better. Whoa, I said, yeah, I'm not gonna say no. Give me everything you've got. And they've given me really lots of valuable tools to make my job better. And so, jumping, you know, about 4 years ahead, here I am. I have now, let's jump all the details, I have now about 600,000 unique visitors from around the world who come every month. I publish my site in English, and I write in English, but I've also been able to build some partnership with some very nice people, and so I have an edition in Italian, a Latino edition for Spain and Latin America, and a Portuguese edition for Brazil and Portugal. I've also got a Russian edition, but I've lost my editor, so it's sitting there sleeping. I haven't got a Greek edition because I haven't got to know any one of you yet. But I am definitely looking all the time for more partners and more languages, because the partnership that I've made up is very simple. When I find somebody who's very reliable and trusted and who's passionate about the stuff that I write, and I write about how to use this communication media to communicate more effectively, and if you want to become self-sustainable, if they're passionate about this, I tell them, look, you just translate what I write in your language. I have some policies, I can give you some training, and then we split 50-50 all of the advertising money that your edition creates. So if the Latino edition makes $5,000 in a month, $2,500 are yours, $2,500 are mine. And this has worked very well, because some of these people are not writers, but they're passionate about what I write and what I research. And so for them, it's double good. They learn something while they translate and they write it. They make good money, and they get a lot of visibility as well. So that's basically this story, the business story. There is a lot more data, and you're going to ask me some of this. The second question people generally ask me before I give them the microphone is, why did you choose to call yourself Robin Good? Robin Good. Robin Hood is my uncle. He lived, you know where Robin Hood comes from? Sherwood. Sherwood. Can we write? Sherwood is written S-H-E-R Wood. The wood of Cher. I am Robin Good, the nephew, and I come from a nearby village that's called Sherwood, but is spelled S-H-A-R-E, the forest where you share stuff. So Robin Good from Sherwood, I mean, you're really out of your mind, Robin. How did you get all of this stuff in your head? You have to know that each one of us has a little Google engine inside his head or her head. Most people don't know. They think that they have bad memory because they don't know how to use their internal Google. So one day I said, you know, I want to use my internal Google, and I want to find out how can I make myself some kind of a brand, something that people are going to remember. One, because the name is easy to remember, and secondly, because my name is going to tell them something. Because my name, besides Gigi, is really a long, difficult, kind of aristocratic name that nobody can say correctly. When I travel to other countries, they all reverse it all around, so it's really displeasing. By the way, it's called Luigi Canali de Rossi. So I get to be Mr. Di Rossi, Mr. Lughi, Canali Di Rossi. They never get it right. And so I said to my internal Google, listen, Google, I've got to find a name that I can use over and over, that it's easy to pronounce wherever I go, and that is going to represent me. That when I say it, I feel I am that one. Didn't choose it my mother or my father, it's my choice. You know how this Google works? You know when you say, shit, I don't remember that stuff. You know, I have it here, it's not coming to me. When you say shit, you're actually telling Google, don't search for it. Forget it, I don't know it. So he just doesn't find it. Pay attention to this. Some other time you say, oh, it's just there, hold it, it's gonna come. Then you're gonna say something else, and damn, it comes. Because you said to the internal Google, it's coming. So he's working there. He listened to your commands. So that Google, I know you can work with my commands. I know it's gonna take you some time. So just go and do your job. And so he went and did his job. I completely forgot about it. 3 months went by. Then one day I was there on my motorbike doing my own thing, looking at the red light. Robin Good from Sherwood. Who is it? It just came, all done, in the package, ready to use. How can you say no to such a great name? I mean, it represented me fully. I am the person who likes to share with a lot of people. That is what gives me satisfaction. I didn't get into the web publishing business to make money, but because I enjoyed sharing with other people. And Robin Good, that's fantastic. I mean, he's the guy who's stealing from the big guys and giving to the poor. So what is the correspondence, I say, in my world? Maybe, who do I steal from? Microsoft and give to... At the time, I would give to Google, but now you don't know anymore who to steal from. But the idea is to... the idea is to get these fantastic ideas that are all over the place and give them out to people, because to be successful online doesn't really take a lot of money and a lot of investment, but a lot of good thinking and asking lots of questions and looking around and talking to people. That's what it takes. So these are the typical 2 things that people ask me when they invite me. You know, what's your story? How do you make all this money? And how you got to name yourself Robin Good. The rest, maybe you want to venture yourself in asking me something else, because I have plenty of things that I could recount to you about news mastering or which type of content can make more money. But I would really like to serve you, not to be here to celebrate myself. I'm here to have fun. So you're very welcome if you are a small entrepreneur, a video producer, or somebody who's venturing out on the internet and want to get a different point of view, not the Bible. I'm not that. Let's talk a little bit. Is anyone out there trying to make some money on the internet? Raise your hand who's trying to make some money on the internet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all on this side. Go and meet them later on. They're all there. So any one of you has some immediate questions, or you want me to provoke you? So maybe some people ask me often, is that Google AdSense really the panacea, thank you, the perfect recipe for being successful? And that is only one way. Actually, today there are many, many different ways. And I think the little pearl of value that I want to give you today is the fact that what is going to work extremely well, and some of you today in the presentation, because I couldn't understand any word, so I don't even know the names of the people who were before me, but this beautiful girl who's in front of me introduced a thread that is going to be a winning one. Maybe the way she's interpreting, it's her own way. But the idea is this. In the near future, because of the economic crisis, because of the way schools are, because of the need to learn continuously new stuff, because no matter what job you do, doctor or traffic cop, a little less, you get to learn new stuff, new rules. things change continuously, and they do change faster and faster. So it doesn't take to be Leonardo da Vinci to understand that the business of the future is helping others get where they want to get. So there are a number of people that want to get somewhere. There must be some other people who help them get there. They cannot go there by themselves. So it doesn't matter if you are an expert about cultivating tropical flowers, or if you are an expert about killing rats that fill your house. It doesn't really matter. What matters really today, and is the most valuable thing after knowing English and the computer, is being able to communicate effectively to others. Because if you can communicate effectively to others, you have a huge business ahead of you that is not gonna end. We are entering an era in which each one of us that wants to is going to become an independent teacher, a guide, a mentor for others. This is what it's meant to be. You don't hear this story very much around because schools and universities have the monopoly on education, but on a fake education, especially the schools. Because what you get out of schools is just learning how to pass an exam. What is the most intelligent question a student today can have? What's going to be in the exam? That's all they want to know. They don't care about the Sumerians or why they did certain things or others, or the Egyptians or the formulas, because the teachers expect them to memorize stuff and repeat it at the time of exam. There is very little understanding or knowledge. There is very little communication and discovery going on. But there are plenty of possibilities to change this if we don't leave it to the schools only. We can destroy the schools. We don't want to have a revolution. We don't want to shoot the teachers. We want to have a quiet, peaceful upheaval, change, revolutionary approach to education. And each one of us can start. Because when you're having dinner with your kids and with your daughters and with your family, that's the time when instead of just talking about how the weather is or how great was skiing, you can inject some of the true knowledge that you're discovering every day. You just forget that the true learning that takes place every day takes place when you're just not thinking about it. When you're talking at the water cooler with somebody and he tells you, oh, you know, I discovered this hat has this fantastic stuff, you know, because it's not just like Velcro. This one, when you open it, creates energy, and then there is a light that lights up here, and so when you go in, then so you discover stuff by talking to people, by searching on Google, by asking others, by going to places where there are older people than you and hearing the stories. But this is not what we do in school. Absolutely not. Nor we learn anything about how to do this. So to end my story, future successful revenue business models for the internet, a great deal of them are going to be based on your ability to share your knowledge. And you don't have to talk about astrophysics. You can talk about anything you want, because there are people interested in about mostly anything. And when they find somebody who they can see is sincere, is generous, is going to listen to them, they are going to say, hey, you got to tell me how much money you want. I want some stuff from you. I mean, man, woman, give me something. That's what happens when you like somebody. It's natural. If she sits with me and she tells me for an hour 10 secrets about video publishing that I never heard before, I say, you know, how can I take you to dinner? Where can I take you tomorrow? And so when you're doing business, that translates into, can I buy your DVD? Can I come to a workshop where you tell me this? Can I come to a teleseminar and ask you questions? Whatever you give them, they're going to want it if you're good, passionate, serious, and sharing. I don't have much more, unless they have. Thank you, Desina.
Thank you very much.